Post-Royal Commission bank squeeze, the US stock market hits an all-time high, and why don't Aussie voters give a fig about small business and the economy? I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money. All right, Paul, yesterday in the Fin Review they talked about, the headline was home loans, dearer, denied, and something else, the D word, but it was all bad, and it was all because of the Royal Commission. And the banks are being squeezed, but more importantly, even if we don't care about the bank share prices, which you tell me has been going up lately, what about the people trying to get money?
Yeah, look, I think, Peter, there's some truth in what the Fin Review covered yesterday. I mean, it has been harder to get a loan, and that's a function of the Royal Commission. It's just so-called sort of responsible lending stuff. So banks have got to go out of their way to make sure that you're a suitable borrower. Now, sounds
all dope.
Yeah,
and dope is borrowing too much. We'll look after dopes now.
Whatever happened to caveat emptor when it came to a loan, but now the bank's got to make super sure that you're okay to pay it back. So look, that's slowing the process down. I think this process will improve a little bit, Peter. I mean, banks are out there now starting to compete aggressively. Fixed rates are way down, record lows.
Good.
So I think we're going to start to see a few more positive signs in the property market. I think people like me have been saying...
What cheeses me off, Paul, and I hate to interrupt you, but I always do.
You did?
Yeah. APRA worked out about a year and a half ago that they'd gone too far. They backed off. Now, politicians didn't have the guts to say, right, okay, we're going to punish badly behaving financial institutions, but let's not ruin the economy. And the economy has slowed down since there's been less money around for small business owners, first home buyers, people who want to build their own homes, and also investors who actually do provide accommodation for people who can't buy.
Well, it sounds like you're a bit more upset than many, Peter. But look, it's this Royal Commission nonsense going on. I mean, the Royal Commissions don't solve anything, Peter. They're good at getting at to the bottom of things, finding solutions, not their scope. But interesting, even with this discussion about the silly water issue, people are calling for a Royal Commission. Crazy stuff, right? We don't need more Royal Commissions. But anyhow...
Now, we need gutsy politicians who solve problems before we need... friggin' Royal Commissions.
You are already quite fired up this morning, Peter, but you're mad about this. Madder than I am. But look, I think the interesting thing about banks at the moment is the rally in the stock market, Peter, in the last couple of weeks. It's actually banks coming back a little bit. And I think...
Well, overbelted, I guess.
Overbelted. And look, importantly, a couple of things happening. One is, look, obviously there were a lot of short positions taken out by some US players expecting to see problems in the property market. Not clear whether they've yet closed, but there was a quite out of character rally last week when CBA surged, and I think that was partly some short positions closing. And secondly, of course, the major banks were coming to reporting season. So 1st of May, I think ANZ, 2nd of May, NAB, Westpac's not far behind. Look, the talk about dividend cuts, there could be a dividend cut coming from National Australia Bank, but the other two are okay. I think it'd actually be good for National Australia Bank's share price to cut the dividend because it is too high. And it'll just take that off the equation.
Too high compared to others, or just too high?
Well, it's way too high. The payout ratio cannot sustain it. So it'd actually be good. And I think there are a few analysts saying the 99-cent dividend will be cut. So that I actually think could be a positive. But look, the Westpac and ANZ, no problems. Their dividends are sustainable. Watch for perhaps a little cut for the National Australia Bank's dividend. So that would be sort of cleaning up the bottom. But interesting, as I was saying, what's going on in the market in the last week and a half has been the banks are leading the market higher. The resources... Par oil, probably BHP and Rio have gone as far as they're going on the back of the so-called supply disruption from Vale.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, so let's go to the next one. I don't know where the bell went to, but why don't... I'm mad about the bell.
You're talking about the US stock market hitting all-time highs last night, but we got through that quickly.
Why don't Aussie voters give a fig about small business and the economy? And the reason why I say that, Paul, is we always hear around election time that the small business sector is the backbone of the economy. Politicians will trot this out, but in between the next 3 years, here's a question for you. Who is the small business minister?
I'm not sure. It's changed a few times.
Oh, come on.
I know Kelly O'Dwyer was once, wasn't he?
Come on. So I got to say, I didn't know. I'm a small business expert. Michaela Cash. All right, and who is this?
That says a lot.
Yes, right. And who's the small business minister in the Labor government, the Australian minister?
I'm going to pass on that one too.
I didn't know this. Chris Bowen apparently is.
Right.
Well, it could be Brendan O'Connor, but when I looked up the Australian Parliament, he's under there as Treasurer and Small Business Minister, Shadow Minister. No one really gives a care about a sector that employs like 6 million people.
Something like that, Peter. And I guess the question about the economy, well, it's so long since we've had a recession, people forget what happened in 1990, 91.
Yeah.
A
lot of small businesses went
interesting
broke.
discussion in the paper this morning, all the issues that younger voters care about. Look, the economy doesn't rate. So, I don't know, look, they just sort of, when you go so many years without any sort of real challenge to the economy and high unemployment, people forget about what can happen. So, I guess that's part of the problem. But, maybe it's the current government hasn't done a great job of selling what they're doing, but we move on.
Yeah, I think the important thing is we really do need some charismatic leaders who actually define what's really important. And you're right, I don't think, even though Turnbull and Morrison talked about jobs and growth, and they achieved that, I don't think they really actually emphasise how important it is to everything in society. Because when you're out of work and your family hasn't got money to look after the kids and all that sort of stuff, and you're on social welfare, gee, your life changes for the worse.
It does, and there's a remarkable lack of complacency about how many people approach this. So, look, Peter, let's just think the US market is reaching highs, and that's good for the Aussie market.
Yes, right.
There's
good, some reason to be optimistic, but the other two topics, I'm mad about it. I'm Peter Switzer.
I'm Paul Rickard.
And we're mad about money.